Speak Up with Vernisa
and Jen.
It's time to speak up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vernisa.
Hey, y'all. This is Jen.
And this is our podcast, Speak Up. What's up, Jen?
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Got that. It's episode 15 of our newest segment, SpeakUpJV now.
Woo, I can't believe it. We made it here.
Yes. For those that don't know, me and Jen are best friends. We create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
That's right. Self-love and respect are two core values we'll hold near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, most definitely. Before we get started, a quick shout out to our amazing sponsors. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Get your nails, your lashes, your hair done. Ask for mine. Tell them that SpeakUpJV sent you. The Instagram is at nyy.bar.
And shout out to Be Actual Natural. Why settle for less? All their products are created with you in mind for a goal to let your self-love show through your self-care. Their chemical-free hair and skincare products are handmade, plant-based, and free of fillers or preservatives. Treat yourself while you're taking care of yourself. Start your journey at www.beactualnatural.com or check them out on Instagram at beactualnatural.
Yes, most definitely. So I'm excited for tonight's episode. We got a queen in the building. I'm excied. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up for producer, singer, songwriter, Nubiian G. Woo!
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. It's happy to be here, especially as long as I've been following y'all, you know? So it's an honor. I love y'all intro, too. That shit flies.
Right? Thank Miss Jen over there.
Okay.
Yes,
Girl, that's
we've been we've been following you for a while too. Loved all your content, and I'm happy we finally get to collab.
Yeah, for sure. Blessings.
Yes, blessings. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your craft, everything.
Okay, a little bit about me. So I go by the Nubiian G. I originally went by AP the Stoner back then when I was just like strictly writing and rapping, and when I wanted to be like a weed rapper, you know, like Wiz Khalifa, Currency and shit like that. But now I strictly just go by Nubiian G. I'm originally from Carson, California. I've been living here in Hollywood. I want to say, I think this month makes 3 years, and I actually live inside my studio. I have my own studio, and I live inside my studio too. As of now, for me, I'm just strictly trying to spearhead producing because I was rapping and singing for 10 years. And, you know, I had some ups and downs with that, but I feel like producing is just opening way more opportunities for me. So I'm really just trying to spearhead the producing. So that's what's going on with me.
That's awesome. So what got you into music in the first place?
So I feel like just growing up with my mom, you know, having my mom, and my mom is still alive. She was big on music. Like my mom, she used to be signed back in the day. My mom is a singer, and she was signed to like an all white gospel group to sing over their vocals to give it soul. But my mom is really my biggest influence. Also my brother too. He passed away a few years ago, but he was big on producing. So that's another reason why I feel like I picked up on producing so easily, because it's just something in me. And then really my mom is the reason why.
I love that. I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about it?
What's my favorite thing about music?
Or like what you do, like, you know, putting everything together.
My favorite thing about music, period. I would probably say, of course, how it makes me feel. Music really is escapism for me. When I turn on music, I'm putting my phone on airplane mode, do not disturb, all that. You know, I'm just really tuned into music. I love music. I can't imagine my life or the world without music, without a soundtrack. So probably the way that it makes me feel. What I truly like about producing is it's barely any females in this lane. So I really feel like I got a shot at this. I really feel like I can dominate this lane. And just walking in the studios, most people assume that I'm a singer. So to come in and actually know that I'm a producer, I feel like the reaction is just, it's way harder to me, you know, to find out that I'm a producer. So yeah, I love this shit. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Oh yeah, and I see your passion all over your posts. Like your beats be sounding good. You be tuned
Yeah.
in. I love that. It's very inspiring and motivating. By the way, very. I love your
Oh,
drive.
girl, I appreciate that. Man, that's another thing too. Like, if it motivates someone else, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do or what God is calling me to do. So that's that. I forgot to say that too.
Well, that's awesome. I love that because you have so much passion into it, you know, anything that you may even encounter along the way, it makes it worthwhile. And since you brought up the fact that, you know, there's not that many female producers in the industry, what has your experience been like in being a woman producer in the industry?
It's actually been pretty good. Actually, better than being an artist. Because most of the time, like, this is more of a male-dominated industry anyway. So I feel like as an artist, when I was doing that for 10 years, it's honestly kind of hard. You're the only female in the studio looking the way that you look. You really there about business, but there's just a lot of men, and it kind of makes the vibes, the studio, very uncomfortable. But for some reason, as a producer, it's been way more receptive. You know, it hasn't been any creep shit, anything weird. It's been pretty good so far. This is really the lane that's opening up opportunities for me, and it's also giving me hope again, you know? So it's been good.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Because, I mean, yeah, I would assume so. Like, when they see that you are the producer, you have to know what you're doing, right? I think, like, versus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
absolutely. It's way much on it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. You get that respect right off the bat.
Yeah, so far.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You know, even like with podcasting, that's male dominant too. So it's like being women with the voice in that industry as well too. It's like you have to hold your weight too. So I love that you give us an example of what that's like for you. So
I never knew the podcasting field was male dominated.
There's a lot of male domination in it. There's more uprising women coming, but men be holding down, especially in media. So
wow.
Yeah. So shout out to the ladies. Look, gotta hold it down over here. So what advice would you give to someone looking to produce music like this? Anyone who's just starting out?
You said what advice would I give them? So what's helped me tremendously to progress fast within a year's time, because I've only been producing for a year. It's 2 years now in March, but really just a year. Probably would be to get a tutor. A tutor can help you advance far quicker than a producer that's just starting out. So something a producer just starting out, it would probably take them 10 steps versus if you have a tutor, it'll take you 3 steps, if that makes sense. You know, a tutor, I feel like is vital because that's what's been helping me. One of my homies actually heard my beats and he decided to step in. And through him stepping in and helping me, it's allowed other producers to come through and just offer me advice and help, period. So I feel like, for one, get you a tutor. It doesn't have to be some celebrity tutor or any of that. It could be the person right next to you that if you respect their work, if they talented, you know, fuck with them. See if they don't mind taking you under their wing and providing you information to help the process, you know, help you speed it up. So a tutor is vital. Get you one if you can. But I feel like also too, when you have a tutor, you got to show that you want it yourself too. Because you don't want the tutor to feel like they babysitting you. So you gotta have the grind too and the passion for it as well, for that tutor to step in and just kind of clarify what you've already been working on and studying. So for one, get a tutor. I would say if you're a female producer, just do it. You don't need any type of permission for that. Just do it because it's a wide open lane. No permission at all. Of course, there's politics being a female producer, but I don't give a fuck about that. You know, it's just, I'm going for that shit.
I love this.
I'm going for that shit. I do not care. Because it's a wide open lane. I believe it's only like 2% of like female producers. Because you got a gang of female artists. You got a nice little pocket of female DJs, but there's barely any female producers. So to the female producer that wants to do this, just do it. You need no permission. Probably third, I would say rely heavily on YouTube. The University of YouTube is absolutely real, you know? Rely heavily on YouTube. Rely on YouTube because it's a whole lot of producers out there that do the grind work. They put in the hours, the weeks, and the days to actually study these programs and actually break it down into something like a 2-hour video. If you guys get what I'm saying, like they do the grind work behind scenes to learn the program. All you got to do is sit down at the computer, get on YouTube, learn it, apply it, become disciplined, because they already doing the hard work. It's available there for you on YouTube. So that would be my advice. Rely on the University of YouTube. It helps tremendously. It's helped me. I swear by it. Get you a tutor. It does not have to be some celebrity. It could be the person right next to you that if you respect their work and you like what they're doing, they can help you. And yeah, that would be my advice. Females, do it. Just do it. You don't need no permission.
Are there people that you recommend on YouTube, or like how do they start searching? You know, like what if I say tomorrow, you know, I wanted to start learning, like how would I start searching either on YouTube or like, you know, looking about for a tutor? I know you said like the person right next to me, but if I literally did not know, like what would you recommend?
So somebody that helped me in learning FL Studio, because that's the particular program that I use. It's different programs like Logic, Ableton. If you didn't have somebody next to you, you could literally just go on YouTube and put, how do I make a beat? You know, it's really that simple. But somebody I would recommend is probably somebody by the name of BusyWorks Beats. He has a ton of he has thousands of videos on producing. I actually took 2 of his master classes, which are free. Again, they do all this work for you. It's there. All you got to do is just sit down and study it yourself and apply it. So BusyWorks Beats, I would definitely recommend, or it's just as simple as going on YouTube and how do I make a beat? But with that as well, it's like you can learn how to maneuver through the programs through actually studying YouTube, but to actually put a beat together, I feel like that's within you. You know, if you get what I'm saying, that's the feel that you have to apply, because anybody can learn the program. Can you actually make a beat that feels good, you know, or creates a mood?
I love that. Sounds like a nice, healthy coping mechanism too, like a way to just express yourself. We have some love in the comments. I'll let Jen go ahead and go in on that.
Shout out to Naughty Dreams. They said, hey, and shout out to us.
What's up, Naughty Dreams, girl?
She in the building. Thank you for the repost too, by the way, sweetie. So, you know, we're gonna ask this. So, tell us a little about the Geniverse cipher. By the way, that beat was hot. The cipher was hot. How was your experience? Oh my goodness,
girl, that shit was so much fun. That was actually my first big opportunity in 10 years. So if people think that they just gonna get into whatever they gonna get into and they just gonna pop off automatically, I feel like you just setting yourself up for failure. I've been doing this for 10 years. So I started around like 21. I'm 31 right now. 30 is when I had my first big opportunity. So that was actually the Geniverse. I honestly did not expect to get that because I believe Chrissy B put up a post looking for female producers, preferably in hip hop. And it was a bunch of producers being tagged, and somebody tagged me. I'm trying to think who tagged me. I think that was Ty Bud Lewis. Shout out to Ty. She actually tagged me, but it was a whole bunch of other female producers that have bigger followings. more people are connected to them. And then you got like little old me. I'm just like, I honestly didn't expect to get that opportunity, to be real with y'all, but to get it, I was just so grateful, so thankful. That shit was actually really fun. It was at the Pro Club Warehouse in Los Angeles, and we was taking shots as soon as we got there. We was filming like in the morning. I don't know if it was like 8 a.m. and shit. So that Ciroc had me hot as fuck as soon as we started though. But yeah, that was an incredible experience, just to really sit back and not be the artist, not be the rapper, but I'm the producer, and have these women who are so fucking talented. Shout out to all of those women. LA Ray, Daisy. I hate to miss somebody, but shout out to all of them. Actually, I got them on my board. Ray, Ash Bash, Gifted Gab. I know I'm missing 2 other females. I believe they from the Bay. I hate that I'm missing their names, but just to really be the producer in that was wild for me, because I'm just so used to rapping and singing. So to actually be turning up in the back, and it's really like, it's about me, but it's really about them. Oh my God, it was so much fun. I wish I could do that shit again. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you will. You claim it. More opportunities coming your way like that. Because you did them. It was amazing.
It is. From producing, yeah. It was some opportunities being an artist, but being a producer has just blown that out the water completely. But that was fun, meeting Gina, Chrissy B, being around women like that. You know, that was women directors, DJs, artists. It just inspired me so much to see that there's women out here dominating. They believe in themselves. They going for it. You know, so that really just helped me. And it also made me feel like, you know what? I belong here for the first time. I really felt like I belong here. It took a while, but yeah, that shit was lit.
They a party on marathon. If something's for you, it's for you. So I loved it.
Absolutely, the marathon.
All day. Oh, that was great. So it's time to get into our episode. Best friend, what is our title for tonight?
Our title is Turn It Off.
Oh, what are we turning off? For
real.
You know, like, I know we haven't really introduced the episode just yet, but I love how we've been talking about the great things happening, right? The good moments, the happy things. So sometimes that self-doubt can start to creep in, right? We feel like maybe we're not good enough for something, or it's like, dang, you know, I can't believe this is happening to me. So it's a matter of turning that off, and then a matter of talking about when good things can be triggering, right? We would think that happy moments are just that, but sometimes when we're so used to living in survival mode, or thinking that we're not worthy of something, it can be triggering when it actually does work in our favor, and we can kind of sit there and be like, whoa, what's going on here? So that's a little bit about what we're talking about with the episode today.
Yes, most definitely. Right. And I think it goes with everything you just wrapped up about your opportunity coming your way. And it's like enjoying that happy moment of what happened to you. So tonight's ask-up question is, have you ever self-sabotaged a happy moment in your life? And I'm going to go first and say, hell yeah. And yes, I'm going to say hell yeah. There's been plenty of times where, like, I think too, like going off what my best friend said about survival mode, I think too, when like you've normalized certain chaos in your life, or, you know, you've seen certain things, and then, you haven't got to the brighter side yet, and then you start kind of creeping into it. Sometimes it's hard to believe. And, you know, I feel like that imposter syndrome kind of creeps in. Like, am I supposed to be here? Is this real? I mentioned this on another episode before, but I'll mention it again. There was a time when me and Jen had a live episode. People paid to come out and see us do SpeakUpJV, and the show was amazing. You know, we got good feedback. And I went home and cried that night because I didn't feel worthy of that happy moment. Like, so I self-sabotaged when I should have been celebrating. There was that inner self-doubt of like, is this real? Wow, this really could be something. You know, so that was about almost 2 years ago. But like, you know, I'm in a space now where I'm learning to pat myself on the back for the accomplishments and not self-sabotage when it is time to be happy.
Right.
Now go ahead, Bessie. You have the answer for that one.
I mean, I'm definitely going to answer and piggyback off of that and say, hell yeah. Like, I think, one specific moment I have is when I got my car, right? Like, that was my first car. I felt like, you know, my first big girl, big move, whatever. But I remember that same day, I was just like freaking out about, oh my gosh, is it going to fit in my budget? How am I going to do for the maintenance? Can I even drive properly? Like all this stuff started creeping up. It sucked because it was a moment that I should have enjoyed. Like, dang, Jen, you saved up to go get your car. You have it now. And then, put the rest in God's hands. And then you're going to keep working hard for it to keep it up. But I'll never forget that, because even my mom was like, you should be happy right now, but you're stressing yourself out. And she's like, what are you going to do now? Return the car? And I was like, well, absolutely not, so it's like a moment that I've kept. And it's a reminder for me of, what, even if you don't know what's going to happen after that happy moment, the fact that it even came in the first place should be the time for you to enjoy. And, ain't nothing worse than taking away from the present, right? So if I'm too busy worried about the future, I'm not enjoying I'm not enjoying the present moment in front of me. So that's that's something that was definitely a learning curve for me.
Oh, what about you, Nubiian G? Go ahead, your turn.
So the question was more so like, have you ever sabotaged like a happy moment in your life that you're deserving of?
Yeah, it could be both. Like you felt like you weren't, or you were. Yep. Have you ever self-sabotaged it?
I feel like I felt that way even with my studio, because I was dealing with some homelessness before I even got my studio. And when I did get my studio, I was grateful. I did cry about it, but not in a negative way. I was just so thankful to no longer be living in my car. But it was just a feeling like, I don't know, like, I don't know if this even like relates, but my father passed away. So it's like, I wanted to kind of share this with him and show him that what I was working towards while he was alive, this is what it is. This is actually manifesting for real. And I felt like I took away from the hard work it took to get this studio, and just worrying about my father. I don't know if that has anything to do with like sabotaging. Maybe it does, but I took away from this, and it was just like, no, I deserve this, and I know my father is proud of me, because I just used to tell him over and over, and now it's actually happening when he's not here. But if I had to talk about sabotaging something, it would probably be me earning and finally getting my music studio, and just wanting my dad to experience that shit with me, But I've learned, like, nah, my dad want me to have this. He sees it, he knows. So it's no need to cry or sabotage myself, So yeah, that's probably one. But I've done self-sabotaging before. But I think I'm over it now, just getting older. Like, I'm learning to truly believe in myself and know that, nah, you deserve this. You deserve this.
Oh, I love that. We appreciate you being vulnerable being open and vulnerable about that on our platform. It means a lot. And you're definitely.
You know what? It's actually really hard to do, to be vulnerable. I ain't gonna lie to you, because a lot of the times I'm by myself. I move by myself. I got a few select homies that I fuck with that I trust, but a lot of times I'm by myself. So to be vulnerable, especially live on SpeakUpJV, it's like.
Bring that out.
This is so new for me, so I apologize. Like, if I'm stuck on my words or anything, like, it's so new for me to be vulnerable. But I am human. I go through it too.
We all do. Love it. So we're gonna now to dig deep into the episode. Let's talk about the importance of not being afraid of letting your light shine. I think it's like what you said, like, you believe in that you're worthy, knowing who you are. I feel like the more that we pour into ourselves and treat ourselves good, we're going to feel more deserving of those good things that happen to us. We're going to feel, I think it's beautiful when you acknowledge your own power. I don't know if you two ladies ever been in a space where you didn't know your power. And then when you did something powerful, you were shocked. Like, wow, I really am capable of this. I actually have this strength embodied in me. And I think, like, the more as we grow as women and we get to know ourselves and that power shines bright, you're not afraid of your own light anymore, and you can shine it on to others, because I feel like too, that's where good things start to trigger us at, when we're not sure of our power and what we're really deserving of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've even said this in a previous episode, but like, why do we tend to accept the negative things that happen to us more than the good things, right? Like, why when something bad happens, we have a tendency to dwell on it more, to think about it more, give it more power, but why can't we do that with the happy moments? Is it because of things that we've gone through, or the way that we feel about ourselves? Maybe a combination of both, maybe stuff that we've been told in society. It can be a number of things, but me really asking even myself that question has helped me appreciate more of the happy moments, to appreciate the people that are around me, and just really start to love life in general too, because there's no doubt that bad things are going to happen to us, even unfair things are going to happen to us that we may never know the answers to. So
Right.
like, you know what, instead of just dwelling on that, I'm gonna experience and live the happy moments too, in that case, because they keep telling us, life is about balance and balance. Well, the thing they don't tell you is that you have to purposely look for that balance. So if you constantly dwell on the bad parts, then yeah, that's where you're gonna live. But if you start to say, okay, this happened to me, but then what's also something good that's happening to me, or something good that I can make happen, or something good that I'm looking forward to happening, that's when you start to build up and really realize that there is a balance of both. And you start to see that there's so many beautiful moments in life that even if we still get that, like, a little bit of fear in us when it does happen, we still allow ourselves to enjoy it. And next time another happy moment comes in, then we're able to build off of that as well, and then just hopefully keep building a happy moment ladder.
I love that, girl. Like,
Yes.
I'm
Speak
like,
up
damn,
on
you
here.
did a lot of reflection, and I love that. It definitely
Yes.
sounds like you're saying we need to starve the negativity and feed the positive. Oh my God. This is great. I'm glad I'm here.
Right? We got you here too.
Yeah,
We got some more love in the comments. Ooh.
shout out to Wolf the Kid. He said, thanks for sharing your story with us.
So you want to drop G? Yes. So yeah, that's true. And also, I don't know, I want to say this too. When things start to get better, that's actually when that negative voice tries to creep in. And what I've been working on lately is actually silencing that, because that's where that self-doubt comes in, because the blessing will come and this will come in, and it's like, which way are you going to go, towards the blessing or towards the voice? And I saw a video on Instagram that talked about how you have to actively speak that negative voice away, because once you feed it any type of attention, that's when I think that the triggers creep in, and we start feeding into the self-doubt completely.
Yeah, it'll definitely consume you. I think that's the same with me actually living in Hollywood. I'm away from a lot of the bullshit and the distractions and shit that's negative for me. So being out here is such a blessing, because it's really zero distractions. It's me against me. And being here in this studio, if I'm tearing myself down, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, because I'm out here in Hollywood by myself. So it's like, here's the opportunity now to feed myself and provide myself with that self-love that I so desperately needed. So yeah, I'm on point with that. I would hate to be talking down to myself in my studio. That's ridiculous. I go crazy in here.
Your sacred space.
Yeah, it has to be. I don't let nobody through this door, girl.
Ooh, I love it. Yes. Like, keep that out there. Look. Oh my goodness. So what is some personal advice you would give someone who's dealing with feelings of unworthiness? Something that's helped you.
Personal advice for dealing with unworthiness. A lot of that for me, what I do honestly is I silence myself and I talk to God. Again, that may sound very cliche, but that's what I do to figure out my worth. Because I've even put myself in situations that are beneath me, which made me not even trust myself. Oh, and when I tell you, it delayed my blessings. It delayed so much in my life. So now, again, being here in my studio by myself, and I'm really the only one who lives out here, zero distractions. I talk to God and I talk to my dad often. And I don't let no bullshit in my space at all. Like, so my advice to them is, you really gotta silence yourself. talk to yourself and talk to God. He's going to talk back in numerous ways. So that would be my advice to them, because that's what's helping me.
Wow, that's a pause. That was one of the best answers we've got on Speak Up. I'm gonna say that to a question.
Girl,
I'm gonna say
betraying
that right
yourself is so deep, and I felt like I've betrayed myself for years. Again, holding myself accountable and putting myself in some bad situations. So it's like being out here has allowed me to really just focus on me, figure out what I want, what I need, and learn to trust myself, forgive myself, and trust myself again. So for me, it's talking to God.
Well said.
I love that. I mean, I feel like there's no better answer to that. You know, it really does take you being alone, essentially, you know, even from people, and then absolutely lean into your faith as much as possible. And it doesn't mean it's not going to creep up ever again, right? It just means that you just keep leaning, right? You keep going, you keep breathing, you keep living, and you keep hoping for the best and keep striving, keep working for the best. I mean, that's a reminder even to myself. You know, sometimes there are days where all of the negativity is so loud, but I love what you said about sometimes you have to silence yourself. You know, like, would you allow somebody to yell at you all day, just negative things all day in your ear? You know, absolutely not. Or I would hope not, right? So if you wouldn't let somebody else yell at you, don't let yourself yell at you either. And I think I needed to hear that. So thank you so much.
That's a great point too, because it's like, if you're not on your side, what are you gonna do? You gotta be on your side. You really do gotta be your own best friend. You talked about the world being so loud. That's the truth. You gotta sit with yourself and be alone sometimes. And you gotta be on your own side. You cannot tear yourself down, because you're just, it's a quote, I can't fully remember it, but it's like something like, there's no enemy outside if there's an enemy within, or something like that. Yeah, you gotta be alone sometimes, you know, and sometimes people can't do that.
No, and it's power in that solitude.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I love my alone time. I learned to appreciate it a lot more.
For real, girl.
And I want to throw this in there too. This is something I used to battle with, still kind of battle with, is, you know, anticipating when things are going to go wrong. Honestly, that's one of the biggest thieves of joy right there. You know, you've been in a joyful moment and you can't even enjoy it because you're so ready for when it is going to go wrong. And I've been learning to just be in the present moment and enjoy where I'm at right now. Like right now, we were having this nice healing conversation with you. I'm having this nice healing conversation with you lovely ladies. This is a healing, impactful moment. We are making an impact, and as we speak, I'm enjoying this moment at this moment, right? But instead of thinking, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? It takes away from it. So I've been, as I'm growing as a woman, you know, I'm 29 years old, not, you know, creeping towards my 30s. I'm like, I don't want to waste any more years focusing on the negative, or like missing the beautiful joy that's been around me. You know, in my lower spaces, I spent a lot of time dwelling in things that happened already passed when I'm right here. So that's something I definitely want to add on to that.
That's a bar too.
Hey,
that's a bar. Anticipating what's gonna go wrong. God, that will rob you so much. That used to be how it would be for me when I was performing on stage. Like, will I remember the lyrics? Am I gonna trip and fall? You know, it just robbed me of those fun moments. You know, or I felt like I need to drink or something to get through that, and it's like, oh no, I know that there's something wrong with that. So it ain't nothing wrong with a little shot here and there, but
a little shot,
a little bit. Just to like constantly cope, like, no, something's wrong. That's just not personally me, you know. So yeah, that was a bar.
I agree 100%. And honestly, like, if you still get triggered at the happy moments, we should take them as reminders of what still needs to be healing. Actually, you know, I think that's a really good way to also even look at like any past trauma, or, you know, any obstacles that we may come with or have overcome, that look at it as more of a lesson on yourself, right? Like, what more do I still need to learn about myself that hasn't healed yet? What does my inner child still need? Like, that inner child never goes away, no matter how old you are. And when you start paying attention to those you also strengthen the relationship with yourself. And there's nothing better than doing that, because then you're able to strengthen the relationships around you. You're able to see more of the beauty in other people too, and just life in general. Okay, I'm not trying to get all philosophical, but I just think those moments are lessons for us where we can really also not only be the student but also be the teacher, right? Because ultimately what's going to work for you and how you feel is up to you. People can have a whole list of coping mechanisms for yourself, but you're going to have to find the one that actually works for you, and there's no other way to find out if you never actually do it. So I just wanted to throw that out there because getting triggered with the happy moments is definitely something that I think a lot of us struggle with, and we feel like we're not worthy of it, but we should ask ourselves why, and there's that mechanism.
Are you guys at that point? I know we just briefly spoke about it, but do you guys feel like you're at that point where you're now embracing those happy moments and what you deserve, or is it still more work for you guys? You kind of already summed it up, but
you're never. Sorry, I was just gonna say I feel like
Lisa said that she's learning how to embrace right now. But what about you, Jess? Do you feel like you've overcame that now? You feel like you're now embracing the now and the happy moments and things that you achieve and you earned?
I mean, definitely in a lot of ways. There are moments where, if I hit a milestone for something, I freak out, but it lasts a lot less than before. Now I'm more like, you know what, Jen, screw this. Like, you deserve to be happy.
Right
where you're at, whether it was through, by luck or by hard work or both or whichever. Like, it's just a moment where, you know what, if it came to me and this was my time to shine, then I'm going to take it, because I know when that other storm comes along, I'm going to look back wishing I had relished in this moment, so it's a battle for me, but I would say I'm more on I'm allowing myself to be happy moments.
I'm proud of you.
We're proud of you too, Queen. Thank you. And going off of everything that is just being said too, let's normalize good things happening to us. That's actually been one of my themes too. Just normal, like what if it is working out and it is just good? It is a good day.
Right,
it is a good month.
Right.
Can it be that like Jim was saying, we believe the bad. When we hear the bad news, we take that in, but learning to take in the good and just accept it. Because I'm gonna be real, I actually been in a very abundance thriving chapter. And at the beginning, it's been hard for me to kind of accept it. It's okay, what's and it's been, but I'm learning like, no, you worked hard for these moments and enjoy it. And I am deserving of it. And I think too, you enjoy it better when you do feel like you're deserving of it. So it is time for our tweet up segment. So y'all know I like to be on Twitter. So something that I tweeted this week that goes with today's episode is not giving into overthinking feels amazing. So I had a day this week where I'd shut overthinking up. And everyone that knows me knows I'm an overthinker. And honestly, when I silenced that, it really was easier to embrace that moment. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like, overthinking is one of our big enemies too. When we're dealing with the triggers or the happy moments, overthinking will run you. You could be somewhere happy and be in your head and not enjoy the joy around you.
Yeah, which is tragic. I was overthinking about this, but my homie he sent me a picture of a light bulb that kills somebody, basically saying that overthinking will kill you, But this is, but I'm just naturally like that. But you pretty much took the words right out of my mouth when it comes to overthinking. It's just too much. Even overthinking about this, like I said, this has been a real pleasant conversation, And I'm glad I got to finally speak to you guys. So there's no overthinking involved. It's not worth
flowing.
It.
It's just flowing.
Pretty much, girl. Pretty much.
Yes. So we got some questions for you.
Okay.
So who is your favorite artist that you have worked with so far?
Probably all of the females from the Cypher.
Woo! Yeah, they was hot. It was good. Mm-hmm.
They was.
That was a good line. Great lineup. Mm-hmm. And who was an artist you would like to work with in the future? Manifest it.
Does it have to be somebody strictly from LA or just period?
Anybody, anything.
honestly, I want to work with Ice Cube.
Woo! Okay. Okay, that was good. That was like, I like that. So what's like? Okay. I hope Ice Cube out there listening. Look, better way. I'm here for it.
Man, finance too.
I'm so. I'm about to be in the studio with you on that one. For anybody, look, okay, she just put it out there. So it is time for our Life Up segment. So that's when we take the topic and we relate it to today's world. So my bestie got the Life Up for tonight.
So you touched up on this a little bit earlier, best friend, but it's the popularity of the saying "too good to be true," right? I mean, I know it exists for a reason, but then also with what we've been talking about, what if the other shoe never drops? What if the good moment is supposed to happen to me? What if things are finally working in my favor? You know, the too good to be true. I feel like, at least for me, sometimes I've ran to that saying when something bad ends up happening, but it just taught me to take the moment from, okay, maybe that specific moment wasn't for me, right? Or maybe it was a lesson for me, or it was supposed to mold me into the woman that I'm supposed to become 5 years later or something. But that too good to be true, I feel like it's become overused in the sense of, again, just expecting bad things to happen to us, or it's like a way to explain the unlucky moments or, you know, the negative moments in our lives. And I feel like we need to stray away from that and just, again, like you were saying, normalize the good things happening to us instead.
Yes. Any thoughts on that? Oh, sorry.
You guys are saying the term "too good to be true."
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, how that works in our lives, like,
it's so normal to say that. Mm-hmm.
Say it again. I'm sorry, y'all breaking up just a little.
Sorry. It's so normal to say "too good to be true." Mm-hmm.
One more time. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. How it's so normal to say it's too good to be true.
I don't even say that anymore. But I get what you guys are saying. Like, it's too good to be true. Like, it shouldn't happen. It's almost as if it shouldn't happen to you.
Ooh.
I don't use that term anymore. I'm learning how to take away some terms from my vocabulary because it's just self-sabotaging. But I do get what y'all saying about that though. But yeah, that is a common term that's used, but I don't personally use it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And you know, so how do we fix this? So you know, we have to make the choice to purposely dwell in happiness. So just like we dwell when we're sad, you know, we cry. Why not just laugh and just have a good time? I mean, for those that know me and Jen's friendship, we always like we be having them laugh attacks, and I think it's well in those laughs. Like I love doing my ugly laugh, like a peacock, doing myself, like just vibing. It's like why we got to be upset? Just you know. Be overwhelmingly happy sometimes, and that's okay. You know, find the humor in things.
Of course.
Yeah. You know how they say, like, God has a sense of humor, right? When certain things happen to you also. Like, just, again, laugh as often as you can. You know, sometimes, too, like, we need to find the humor in how things work out. You know, like, I would even take it as far as, I don't know, like there was a job that I was supposed to get like some years back, and then it ends up they froze the hiring process. So, you know, I was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay my car? You know, all of that stuff. But then it ended up being that a different job actually ended up being for me. But the way that worked out was like I had to freak out over losing that previous job to where I was like, you know what, I want to use my major in that case. And I ended up looking for a job that actually had strictly to do with my major. And that's how I ended up in social work at that time. And it was just cool because if I hadn't gone through that moment, I probably would have ended up working another job that had nothing to do with what I studied or what I wanted to do at that moment. And I would have never gotten to experience that job afterwards. So I take that as like a sense of humor moment of like, yeah, sometimes you have to feel like, oh, shoot, I have nowhere else to go. So let me try just doing the best that I can with what I have at that moment.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel right now because I quit my job. I don't have any type of money coming in, so I could be worrying. I'm not, you know, I'm just going to grind it out. If I had to go back to work, I don't have a problem with that. But I feel that 100%. Like some things that don't work out for you is actually a blessing in disguise, but we do dwell on it, you know, but I really feel the same. I don't have a job right now. no money is coming in. You know, luckily I'm pretty good with my money. I'm actually still living off of EDD, but yeah, I feel that 100%. Like sometimes those things, sometimes that's God protecting you, and we just don't understand it. We don't know. We really want it to happen, but it's probably the best thing for you. At least in my life, everything that God has turned down, God, it's just worked out for me either way. So it needed to happen. It's just me being a crybaby over it, you know? So, no, it needed to happen. So
That's just you acting in your faith. I love that. And I think too, you know, we have to get into the root of why we're not accepting when good things happen to us, you know. So I think that's heavy as well. I think once we do that, it'll be easier to accept. So we have a question. What's your favorite? I cut you off. Go ahead.
Do you think that that's comparison for some people, or just not feeling worthy, as we were talking about earlier, not accepting those happy things?
Yeah, it could be a root of different things. Your upbringing. I think sometimes if you didn't see certain things growing up, you comparing yourself to others. You know, the inner confidence being low. You know, so something within that causing insecurities, not being treated right. I think sometimes that knocks our self-esteem. So I think it's just a bundle of different things that play into those things that makes us feel unworthy of those moments.
I agree.
So that's a good one. So what's your favorite positive mantra to say to yourself?
Why did I start thinking about Juvenile with "Don't Stop, Get It"? I think that's
hey, look.
Goodness, do I even have a positive? I mean, off top, I was thinking about Juvenile. You would pay the chance.
There we go. That's a good one right there. That's all you need. That counts.
I don't know if I specifically have one. I just instantly thought about Juvenile.
And that's the one.
Yeah, that was the one.
That's the one.
You got the block on block.
It's a quote on it. They made it to a quote and everything. I'm here for that. But y'all know what time it is. It is time for our drink up water segment. So if you're listening out there, please grab some water and drink some water. And Jen has a water fact for tonight.
So tonight's water fact is benefits of drinking water in the morning. By boosting your metabolic rate, you are increasing the rate at which calories are burned. According to WebMD.com, after drinking 17 ounces of water, men and women saw an increase of approximately 30% to their metabolism. And this is something that I've started doing in the mornings, like before I start putting on my makeup for work. I have my jug of water right next to me, and I just try to drink at least, half of it, whatever's left in there, whatever. And I've really started seeing a difference in how my body is throughout the day. Like I'll even randomly start sweating sometimes. Because I think I'm like literally burning more calories. Like my metabolism is actively working and, like flushing my system out more often. So I can definitely attest to this about the benefits of drinking water in the morning. So I definitely recommend that if you're looking to maybe increase the rate of calorie burning a little bit more, because it's definitely helped me out. But obviously, everybody is different. So go at whatever works for you. But that's something that's worked for me.
Ooh, well said. I'm always learning something on these water facts.
You guys have a water segment?
Yes.
That is so dope. I've never heard nobody do that. So you guys are clearly doing something different. I've never heard that. Most people are promoting alcohol. Y'all talking about drinking water.
Yeah. It's about to get hot too. Summer.
Come on. Say
gotta
that.
stay hydrated on the marathon. Look.
Yeah.
And we promote drinking water so that if you want to drink alcohol, you're not going to be all messed up afterwards.
Oh, I love that. So, question, who was your favorite producer growing up?
Probably. So since I just started producing, I was a singer-songwriter. So I was focused strictly on singer-songwriters. So I'm honestly digging into it right now. But if I had to name one off top, probably Pharrell.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably Pharrell, DJ Quick, Dre.
Great choices.
Those are probably the ones.
Icons.
Yeah,
for real.
Okay, nice.
Jay Dilla too. because my brother put me onto Jay Dilla.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
All
Jay.
right.
And we have a fun question. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, so what's the most unique sound you've used in a beat of yours? Like, you know how like Timbaland had the baby crying in Aaliyah's song, you know, so like what's a sound that has inspired you to create a beat or like that you've incorporated in a beat?
A sound that I've used that's been weird?
It could be anything, like just unique. It could be like a doorbell, like or anything. Like I don't know.
Dang, have I used anything different just yet? I think one time I attempted to use, what did I use? Damn, y'all got me on this one. I'm trying to think back to my because I use all of the sounds within the program, and it's like a gang of different sounds. Like it could be somebody laughing, or like you said, the baby crying. I think maybe what was it? What did I use? I'm really trying to think. That was a hard one because I use the sounds that's in the platform. I haven't I see a lot of producers they'll go outside and they'll bang on different things and actually record it into the program and use it. I haven't done that yet, but I really want to. But yeah, I can't think of any unique sound that I've used. I think the most was somebody smoking in the inhaling. I've tried to use on a beat, but
that's a good one.
Yeah, but I haven't done that yet. That's a great idea, though. I need to do it.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, girl, when it come out.
Love it. Can't wait. So it is time for our quote up segment. So y'all know my bestie is a quote. So she has a quote for tonight that goes with tonight's episode.
I'm sorry, I just had to see my face pop up real quick. That scared me on the screen. It's so random. But sorry. So tonight's quote up is, "It is not how much we have, but how much we enjoy that makes happiness," by Charles Spurgeon. And I really like this because it shows obviously quality over quantity, right? That it's not about how many happy moments we have, but rather how much are we enjoying that happy moment. So let's say in these first 6 months of 2023, you've only had one happy moment that you can remember, then how much are you going to enjoy that? How are you going to allow that happiness to enter into your life? And then ultimately, like we were talking about earlier, create that cycle of happiness and then just keep building upon that. But I bet you if you really tried, you could find at least one more moment of happiness. Like I said before, whether it's a good meal or you had a good nap, a good rest, whatever, you're excited that
you're alive.
Yes. If we really look for them, we can find them. So, I'm making that as a challenge for anybody out there that's listening. But yeah, it's about how much we're enjoying those happy moments, not how many of them we actually have.
You giving me some bars right now. I'm about to send this to a few of my homies because it's y'all need to hear this too. Jesus. Absolutely, yeah. The happy moments are there. We just have to search for them. And I don't even want to say search for them. They are literally right there. If I woke up, and again, I keep saying it sounds so cliche, but if I woke up, I'm happy, for the most part. The day itself might take on some bullshit, but, I have the power to block that out. I don't have to actually internalize that, and again, if I'm alive, that's all that matters. I have another day to keep going, keep trying, keep figuring it out, and I'm going to get it. We going to get it.
Yes, put it out there. So where do you see your career in 5 years manifested?
Where do I see my career? I really want to become one of the go-to female. Well, let me pause. No. I see myself being one of the first female producers. There's a gang of producers out there, but again, the female producer is not highlighted as much. It's less than 2%. I see myself being one of the go-to and premier female producers. I really want to be that so I can provide the soundtrack for women all over, not just LA, California, but women all over, God willing. I just see my career in 5 years building with these different women, getting the placements that I need. And I really just want to provide a soundtrack. I want to be one of those premier females. I really want to be, because we don't have that. We don't have any female artists, rappers. Like, you know how they talk about the East Coast female rappers, like the Cardi B's, Lottos, Nicki Minaj. We don't have that on the West Coast. So it's like, I want to be one of those females that either can help groom or just be the soundtrack to one of those females. So we can take over on this side of the coast, you know, on the West.
Yes, that was well said.
Girl, thank you.
And what makes your work stand out from others? So what makes your sound like that uniqueness that we're hitting on?
What makes my sound unique?
Yeah, like what makes your work stand out from others? So in the game,
I honestly think the fact that I'm a female, for one, I'm just gonna naturally stand out. But I think my sound, how do I describe that? Like, what makes my sound unique? I feel like my sound I'm not running away from the West Coast sound, if that makes sense, because a lot of artists on the West Coast, we adopt different sounds. We adopt drill, we adopt Detroit sound. Like, I'm not running away from the G-Funk sound. I'm not running away from that bounce, that West Coast shit. That is what I feel like makes my sound unique. I'm not running away from the sound. I embody this West Coast shit. I love it, and I think it's just gonna take people listening to it, because I feel like when you listen to it, it automatically stands out amongst many, you know. And that's not me being arrogant or nothing. I just believe that, you know. So, yeah, that's what I would say is unique about my sound. Being a female, period, and I actually have pretty good product. I feel like.
Yes,
I really feel that way. Yeah.
I love that. So it is time for our wrap-up segment. So how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is allowing yourself to enjoy the happy moments and not feed into the triggering moments that try to steal your joy. So it's very important. So how do you practice self-love?
How I practice self-love is kind of like I said earlier. I shut everything down. I put my phone on do not disturb, airplane mode, excuse me. And I silence everything. I do things that I enjoy, things that I want to do, even if that means taking myself out. And really, self-love for me is my body and my fitness, taking care of my body. So I go to the gym a lot. I think that's no better way to practice self-love too. So I shut everything out and I just focus on me. So that's how I practice it. I have to. It's just like Jim was saying earlier, like the world is so loud. Like sometimes we wake up and check our phone before we check in with ourselves and God. So it's like I shut all that down. Just focus on me.
Oh, I love that.
And this is a question we ask all of our guests. What do you want to be remembered for?
You guys hit me with the questions. I love it. What do I want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered. Again, if I can inspire somebody else, that's really what I want to be remembered for my strength. I'm always pouring into others. So yeah, probably if I can inspire the next person to really just like jump off the porch, step into your dreams and do it relentlessly, do it intentionally, then that's what I want to be remembered for. If I just help somebody else, because I'm very selfless, you know, so yeah, that's probably it. You know, if I can inspire someone else to take this leap of faith too, you know, even like, you know, God forbid, say if something was to happen to me, if I inspired the next, I'm okay with that.
Oh,
you already are.
Beautiful answer. And I must say too, you know, give the happy moments the power that they deserve. So honestly, what we give our time and energy to, that's what we give power to in our life. And I think we underestimate how much we don't give the happy moments power and we give it to the negative moments. So being more intentional about, am I actually enjoying this happy moment? Am I giving my time and my energy to this happy moment? And what is our wrap up for tonight, best friend?
Yeah, I mean, thinking of happiness as like a muscle, right? You can either have your life be
Come on,
hard.
Jen. Come on. Dang. You
Yeah,
gotta work that motherfucker out for real.
that's right. Yeah. You know how they say like being unfit is hard or being fit is hard. It's just a matter of choosing which hard you want to take. It's the same thing with happiness or, living in the sad moments. Which moment or which ones are you preferring to live? Because they're both going to be hard. You're both going to have to work on both of them. So which one are you going to take? Just making sure that you're looking for the happy moments and that you're creating them more often because this is our only life that we will ever remember living. So it's a matter of making sure that we make the best of it every single day that we can.
Absolutely.
Love that. That was well said. It was a pleasure having you on our platform. Before we go, can you shout out where people can find you, your music, everything?
So where people can find me mainly, they can find me on Instagram. It's Nubiian G with 3 eyes. You can tap in with me if you need beats, or if I can add value to your music with singing and songwriting. So yeah, y'all can tap in right there with Instagram, Nubiian G.
Yes, please make sure y'all tap in. Her work is hot. We appreciate you coming on here too as well. This was an honor and a very nice conversation.
Yeah, it was. I love it.
Needed. I feel like
I'm
nice.
It's so many bars and gems that I need to constantly hear from this too. So I appreciate y'all, and I'm so grateful that I finally got an opportunity to meet you guys. Like I said, I was overthinking about this, but no reason to. This has been great. Have me on again, girl.
Right. Just make that call. And before we wrap up for tonight, my best friend has a announcement.
Yeah. So I am departing from SpeakUpJV. I will no longer be on the show. There are some things that I have to take care of as far as my mental health goes. So anybody listening out there, y'all are the first ones to hear this. But if not, it will officially be announced tomorrow. It's been such a great time. Honestly, I've loved being on here. This was like part of my life being poured into here. But yeah, there are things that I do have to just take care of before I can fully be me again. But obviously, I'll still be supporting Vernita because she's still going to continue the show.
Wow.
We're best friends, so obviously I'll still be here every now and then. But it's just, I have to take care of me. Like we said, right, create more happy moments, and that's what I'm trying to do with my life now. Just trying to create more of that because I will admit 2023 has been a kicker for me. So I just have to pick myself up again and find myself.
Wow. I definitely wish you luck, girl. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to say,
before y'all go, how can I support you guys? Is there anything that you need? How can I support you guys in your platform?
Shout outs are appreciated. Likewise too. We can do it back to you too.
Let me know if you guys need anything.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about everything after and stuff.
For sure.
Yes, and I want to say too, best friend, it's been a great run on here. Obviously, I'm supporting you. And I'm sorry, I support your decision, and I'm supporting you. And I'm here for best friends still, y'all. For the weirdos out there, like what's going on? No, we good and stuff. This was a your decision, but SpeakUpJV will still be continuing on. I'm gonna me and Jen birthed this about 4.5 years ago, and I'm gonna keep this pushing for us. So you guys look out for the content coming out there. I'm gonna really try to personalize it this time and put it out there. But best friends, I appreciate you, and this is still a great journey with you.
Yes,
and I wish you best with it. Yes. So before we go, y'all, quick shout out to our amazing sponsors. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Get your nails, your lashes, your hair done. Ask for my time. That SpeakUpJV sent you. The Instagram is at my.bar.
And shout out to Be Actual Natural. Why settle for less? All their products are created with you in mind for a goal to let your self love show through your self care. Their chemical free hair and skincare products are handmade, plant based, and free of fillers or preservatives. Treat yourself while you're taking care of yourself. Start your journey at www.beactualnatural.com or check them out on Instagram at BeActualNatural.
Yes, most definitely. Well, this was an absolute pleasure. And yeah, we wish you the best, Nubiian G, on your career. Can't wait to see what you cook up next.
Absolutely.
Thanks
I wish
for
y'all the
having
best too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, so but we love y'all. We will be back. Well, I'll be back soon. Probably next week. We'll be back with a new episode. And yes, if you want to tap in and check out any gems that my bestie has dropped, all of our catalog is up. So we're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Make sure y'all subscribe to our channels, and I'll be announcing soon what my schedule will be. But we love you guys, and make sure you tap in with Nubiian G's content.
That's
We'll
right.
see y'all
Love
soon.
y'all.
Take care. Love y'all. Bye.